Hi, I'm Jessy Rose, and today I'm going to show you Salem, Oregon. Salem is Oregon's state capital, and the largest employer there is the state of Oregon. In my younger years, I used to follow politics the way Southern boys follow football. But I'm here to tell you, you don't have to in Salem. Politics are not everything in Salem. I know people who've lived in Salem and haven't even driven past the Capitol in 5 years. One thing I do still like about it though is if you go downtown during legislative session around happy hour. Happy hour, by the way, huge thing in Oregon. I've never lived in another state where 5 p.m. was such a big deal, and every restaurant has a special menu, and it's just a really popular way to meet up with friends and hang out. But around 5 p.m. downtown, there's going to be a lot of people dressed up in suits, having meetings and talking about whatever's going on in the Capitol. And there are some great restaurants that whole scene has just brought to Salem. Salem, like the rest of Oregon, doesn't have a huge nightlife. You're not going to find a lot of going out dancing all hours of the evening or clubs or anything, but awesome restaurants, awesome happy hours, great cafes, and there are a ton of people who live in Portland and commute to Salem, at least part of the week. So being 1 hour away from Portland is about as close as a lot of people want to be to Portland, but it's close enough that you can run in and do your shopping. I mean, Salem does have a Costco, and we do have most of the shops that you need, but sometimes you want to go into the big city and it's really close by. Speaking of close by, you're only 1 hour from the coast. You can drive to Lincoln City in an hour and be at the most beautiful, open public beaches, just a beautiful place. So an awesome, awesome road trip, 1 hour away from Salem, and 2 hours away from Salem is skiing. So really, you're pretty centrally located in Salem to a lot of awesome things you would want to do, not to mention a lot of awesome bike trails and hiking trails right in the area. You will definitely want to Google Silver Falls. Silver Falls is pretty famous, and it can get kind of crowded in the summer, but it's absolutely beautiful hike and a great place to start. And then from there, you can kind of learn more about some of the more secret hikes that you can find. Wonderful hikes along the coast where you step out and there's the ocean. Oregon is just a beautiful state, and Salem is no different. Now, Salem is in the Willamette Valley, which is a huge region of Oregon, and it's very well known for agriculture. And there's lots of agro-tourism. There's tons of wineries and breweries, but it's not limited to that. There's pumpkin patches in the fall. You pick your own berries all summer. It's a mixture of the climate and the amazing soil. It's just very fertile. And a lot of people love that, because if you want farm to table and you want amazing restaurants, the Willamette Valley is where it's at. So another thing that makes it really great for growing is the rain. You know, Oregon has rain. So I did a whole video on, is the rain really that bad? If you want to really delve deeper into the rain issue. The truth is, we do have a rainy season and a dry season. And the rainy season, some people love it. You cuddle up by the fire and have an espresso or a glass of wine, and the rainy season is just a fact of life here. So, don't let it scare you away, but certainly you do want to take it into account. So part of what I tell people is how the rain affects you will depend on where you're moving here from. So if you want to drop a comment below, or you can inbox me and I can talk with you more about, the difference between how the rain might be where you live versus the climate that we have here. It's really hard to know just looking at averages and things. You really need to talk to someone who knows what the weather is like here. So Salem is not necessarily a community where you'll see a lot of people commuting via bike or walking the way you do in some other towns in Oregon, especially Portland. You're gonna need a car in Salem. However, like I said, all around the area there are amazing hikes and biking trails for you to enjoy that recreation. But as far as commuting and getting to the store and stuff, you are gonna need a car in this area. It's not the most walkable. It's just not really set up for that. Now, if you're moving to Oregon and you're hoping to get a job here, you're going to want to know about employment in the area. Like I said, the state of Oregon is the largest employer, and really that's not limited to much of anything because, you know, there's a state agency for almost every type of industry you can think of, and Oregon has amazing benefits, and state jobs are pretty good jobs. However, healthcare, that's the second largest employer in Salem, and there's tons of companies of all different sizes, small, medium, and large, in Salem and in Oregon. So just about anybody would be able to find a job in their industry of choice in Salem or the surrounding area. If you have kids, you want to Google Salem Keizer, that's Keizer school district. Their website has a wealth of knowledge of, you know, there's I think 8 or 10 high schools. There's lots of schools in the school district. So if you're thinking of living in a certain area based on the school, that's where you start for that type of research. And as far as things to do with kids in Salem, there's a seasonal amusement park called the Enchanted Forest. It's amazing. And then in the rainy season, there's Gilbert House, which is also awesome. It's like an indoor play area and museum for kids. Lastly, you'll definitely want to hit up the waterfront carousel at the Waterfront Park in Salem along the Willamette River. It's just a beautiful park and a great place to take some pictures of your kids on a carousel. Now, things to do that aren't just for kids. Oh my gosh, there's so much going on. Just a couple of things for you to Google. Obviously, the Oregon State Fair. Now, the Oregon State Fair is probably not exactly like other state fairs you've been to or even heard of. There's definitely something for everyone at the Oregon State Fair. I really love the World Beat Festival. There's dragon boat races, and every year there's a different theme. The theme is a different geographical place, and you know, it's a wonderful festival to get outside and enjoy the beautiful weather and learn all about another culture and really dive deep into that culture, the food and the clothes, and it's a really fun festival. I mean, you could be busy all summer, well into the fall, with a lot of these really fun activities in the Salem area. Not to mention, like I said, Portland's an hour away. You're never going to be bored living in Salem. You can drive any direction and there's going to be a million things for you to do. I'm Jessy Rose. I'm an attorney and a licensed Oregon realtor. Buying or selling real estate is a legal transaction, so having someone with legal skills and knowledge on your side is a benefit. We're a boutique brokerage with offices throughout the state, so wherever you're trying to go in Oregon, our team can definitely help you out. I'll be doing more videos that explore all the awesome towns in Oregon, so hit the subscribe button and give me a call to go look at some properties.